term used to describe the penetrative and distributive components present in a rock mass. These components may be composed of platy or elongated minerals, which gives a preferred orientation to the rock. Metamorphic rocks, that is slates. This slaticubus has the ability to cleave the rock perfectly into planar or tabular sheets. Whereas the phylitic cleavage is the general found in the slightly coarse-grained metamorphic rocks such as phyllite. The phylitic cleavage has also the ability to cleave the rock but not perfectly planar sheets as the static cleavage does. Schistosity and schistosity are also secondary collection, but these are found in high-grade metamorphic rocks. Schistosity is generally found in the high quartz-rich rocks such as quartz schist, seared granites. The most characteristic outgrowth of this schistosity is the parallel alignment of the phyllosilicate minerals such as muscovite, biotite, chlorite. Schistosity is also found in high-grade metamorphic rocks such as gneiss. Here, the alternating aspect of the felsic and mafic minerals gives the rocks to a banded-like appearance. Now, while these foliations are associated with fold, generally the foliation is associated with folds. The foliations which are parallel to the axial plane of the fold called as axial planar foliation. These are generally found perpendicular to the compressive stress. Another one is the cleavage diffraction. When cleavages are formed during folding of a multi-layered sequence such as shell and sandstone, the cleavage diffraction is formed. So cleavage diffraction can be defined as change in the orientation of the cleavage due to change in the competence or the viscosity of the layers. So cleavage diffraction, and we can see the foliations present in the incompetence layer try to diverge away from the core, whereas the foliations present in the competence layer try to converge towards the core. As a result of cleavage diffraction, a cleavage fanning is formed. So now the significance of the foliation. In a folded terrain, if the foliations are parallel to the axial plane of the fold, then we can utilize it for some sort of structural analysis. First is to find out the nature of the leaves. That is, if the bedding and the cleavage stresses are dipping in the same direction and the dip of the cleavage is more steeper than the bedding, then it represents the normal limb of a float or like upright limb of a fold. And in the other case, if the bedding of is dipping more steeper than the cleavage, then it indicates the inverted or overturned limb of the fold. Similarly, we can find out the location of the hinge and limbs, and also can determine the orientation of the fold axis, and can determine the orientation of the axial plane also. Here, in case of axial plane, the axial planar foliation gives the information about the axial plane. If the axial planar foliation is planar, then the fold is planar. If it is curved, then the fold is non-planar. Lastly, the foliation is the parallel subparallel alignment of the platy minerals. These are commonly associated with the tectonic fault deformations and common in all grades of metamorphic rocks. The main cause of axial plane foliation is the ductile flattening. These planar fabrics give important information about the deformation history and evolution, the relative growth of the metamorphic minerals such as porphyroblasts, and also gives information about the fold morphologies such as axial planar foliation, and also gives information about the orientation of the stratigraphic structure, and lastly about the dynamics of the shear joints, if the shear joints are moving dextrally or sinistrally. These are my references. Thank you.
देखिए बहुत स्पीडी कर स्ट्रक्चर ते बुझेला के मतलब स्लाइड कम करू तक एक्सप्लेन करू स्ट्रक्चर में स्पीडी करले पिला बुझे तू ना प्रैक्टिस करे अदरवाइज इज वेरी गुड थैंक यू
any point of the rock, and penetrativity means that features should be present throughout the volume of the rock. And the common term for planar deformation of fabric is foliation. The word foliation has been derived from a Latin word folia, which means leaf. These foliations are generally formed due to deformation and recrystallization of the minerals in the rock, which give a preferred orientation to the rock. So generally foliations are found when the sigma 1 is greater than sigma 2, where sigma 2 is equal to sigma 3. Sigma 1 is the maximum principal stress, sigma 2 is the intermediate principal stress, and sigma 3 is the minimum principal stress. So here is the diagram generally showing the formation mechanism of the foliation. Here in the left hand side elongate preferred direction. For example, initially we have a spherical grain. After application of a directional compressive force, they are showing an elongated gels. For any foliation, to consider it in planar fabric, to consider it in foliation, the spacing should be between 1 to 10 centimeter. If the spacing is greater than 10 centimeter, we don't consider them as foliation. The planar features present in a rock are named as S surfaces, such as bearing as S0, the first cleavage as S1, the second cleavage as S2. Here the 0, 1, 2 represent the relative chronology of the surfaces. These are all. So foliation on the basis of genetic classification has been classified into two major types: primary foliation and the secondary foliation. So primary foliations are the foliations which are developed during the deposition of the sediments or the during the formation of the magmatic rocks. While the secondary foliations are formed due to as a result of tectonic stress. So these are also called as tectonic foliations. The primary foliations are generally include the bedding of present the sedimentary rocks and the layering present in intrusive rock. The primary foliation has been also been classified classified into igneous, diagenetic or sedimentary foliation. If the primary foliations are formed during the formation of igneous rock, then those are called igneous primary foliation. Similarly, if these are formed during the diagenesis of the sedimentary rock, then those are called diagenetic.
What is the difference between foliation and
Foliation, primary foliation.
in the primary foliation?
But in case of secondary foliation has a very broad classification. Here, on the basis of morphology, secondary foliation has been classified into many types. On the basis of spacing present between the cleavage domains, secondary foliation has been classified into two types. One is spaced cleavage and another one is continuous cleavage. If the spacing present between them is greater than 1 millimeter, then it is called as spaced cleavage. If it is less than 1 millimeter, then it is called as continuous cleavage. Further, spaced cleavage has been classified into two types on the basis of the fabric of the microlithon, disjointed cleavage and frenulation cleavage. And the continuous cleavage is also been classified into two types on the basis of grain size, that is fine grain continuous cleavage and coarse grain continuous cleavage. First is spaced cleavage, that is before going to discuss about what is disjointed cleavage, we should understand what is cleavage domain and microlithons are. So cleavage domains are the concentrated zones or fabrics that actually defines the cleavage and foliations. These are the thin anastomosing layers. These are also called as folia or called as bands. These don't contain the original lithology or mineralogy of the host rock, as they are very deformed during the deformation process. Whereas the microlithons are the space present between the cleavage domain is called as microlithons, and they preserve the original mineralogy of the host rock. In case of disjointed cleavage, the microlithons has not undergone any types of microfolding. They are free from fabrics. The disjointed cleavage has been classified into four types on the basis of the shape of the cleavage domain. If the cleavage domain is planar and continuous, then it is called a smooth cleavage. If it is short and continuous, then it is called a dog cleavage. If it becomes quasi-planar or anastomosing, forming a reticulate pattern, then it is called an anastomosing cleavage. And if the cleavage domains are irregular, forming two-set pattern or stylolytic pattern, then it is called a stylolytic cleavage. Another space cleavage is frenulation cleavage. This frenulation cleavage in a rock is formed when the three distinct continuous cleavage is frenulated due to the application of a compressive force. Here is the diagram. We can see the S1 is a fast cleavage formed due to the fast stage of deformation. When a directed force is applied to it, this distinct continuous cleavage gets frenulated and forms a second order cleavage known as frenulated cleavage. This frenulation cleavage has been classified into two types: zonal cleavage and discrete.
Let's just wait for a minute. First years for class to
Frenulation cleavage is further classified into two types: zonal cleavage and discrete frenulation cleavage. In case of zonal cleavage, has a very wide cleavage domain where it can trace the pre-existing continuous cleavage continuously. Whereas in case of discrete frenulation cleavage has a very narrow cleavage domain, but here we cannot trace the pre-existing continuous cleavage. On the basis of the pre-existing cleavage as a second stress field, the frenulation cleavage has further classified into two types: symmetric frenulation cleavage and asymmetric frenulation cleavage. Here the lower diagram is the symmetric frenulation cleavage, which is formed by parallel layers of tailing. These are forms where the limbs are the four halves in equal length. But in case of asymmetric erosion fields, they are formed by shearing. Here they form asymmetric folds with S and Z geometry. Is the planar surface present in the rock? Planar
Explain.
Yes.
Thunders explain. So if it is sedimentary, and then if it is igneous or metasedimentary, then this S1 is maybe defined differently. So you can tell that whether this is a sedimentary stratification S1, S0 also you can. Okay.
As I said before, continuous cleavage are spacing less than 1 millimeter. These are classified in two types on the basis of grain size. The fine grain continuous cleavage and the coarse grain continuous cleavage. In the slatic cleavages are generally found in fine grain, low grade metamorphic rocks, that is slates. This slatic cleavage has the ability to cleave the rock perfectly into planar or tabular sheets. Whereas the phyletic cleavages